an old technology by modern standards. A Stirling engine generates motion without explosions, needing only a temperature difference that can be delivered by something as simple as a flame.
Stirling engines convert heat into mechanical motion using a chamber of working fluid, in this case air. When you heat one end and cool the other, the air expands and contracts. This creates a pressure difference that moves a piston.
And that motion can do work. The cool part? You can use almost any heat source, even a mug of hot water. And since all you really need is a temperature difference, you can use ice without a heat source in some models, and it'll still run. Now I wanted to talk about a few of the different configurations of the Stirling engine. This is the Alpha design. It is my choice for a few different reasons for my e-bike generator, which I'm going to talk about a little later. Here, it has two different pistons in two different cylinders that are 90 degrees separated, and they both connect at the same crank point. This is key for my personal designs. One is a hot piston, it's powered by a flame, and the other is cooled by the air. It's simple and power dense. Well, it's power dense for a Stirling engine. This is the one I like personally, and you're going to see my take on it in a bit. It's cool. Next is one you have already seen. It's the Beta engine. It's very compact. Both pistons live in a single cylinder. The displacer moves the air between the hot and the cold zones. And you can see it here, moving up and down. It's great for models, but a little trickier to scale up due to internal friction and really complexity. This particular model I think is really clever because it doesn't have a secondary crank to move the displacer, as is very common, but instead has a magnet both in the piston and the displacer. And when the piston goes down, it attracts the displacer up, so you don't need as many cranks. The Beta configuration has been used in many electrical generator designs, especially free piston designs which have no crank at all. Some expensive high-end free piston designs, like those utilized by NASA, can last decades with continuous use. And no maintenance, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself. Next is the last common type of Stirling engine. It's the Gamma configuration. And this is a cousin to the Beta. It has two cylinders. One is a displacer, and it's on the hot side, and it moves air from the hot part of the engine to the cold and back again. And then the other is the power piston, which actually generates the electricity. Generally, this is the most common type of configuration for models like this. They look cool, and they get the job done. But with parallel pistons, they tend to have added complexity or larger space requirements, or even just lower power density than other models. However, it's still really cool, and if you ever try and build a Stirling engine, this is probably the one you will want to choose. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the thermoacoustic Stirling engine. It's not a traditional Stirling engine by any means. The main thing that separated the other three engines was the configuration, but not the working principle. This is a bit of a hybrid. Thermoacoustic engines don't even typically have pistons, but this one does. It uses sound waves generated by heat across the regenerator, which is the steel wool in the end, to drive the piston on this end, turning the thermal energy into mechanical motion. So it's bridging the gap between classical Stirling engines and more experimental acoustic-based engines. These have gained a lot of popularity in recent years and are very cool, with a lot of research going into them as potential power sources of extreme longevity due to their incredible mechanical simplicity. However, at the moment, they're really not as efficient as the other types of engines or just require extra space. I started Wonder Watts because of frustrations with my e-bike. It has plenty of power, but batteries are expensive, they need regular replacement if you use them often, they have a long recharge time, and they're not especially power dense. I wanted something that was clean, easy to fit on a bike rack, and able to provide power without constant recharging. Searching for a solution, I thought others might benefit from a product like this if I succeed, hence my company. It aims to deliver small-scale power that is quiet, efficient, and independent of the power grid. Stirling engines are clean, flexible, and ideal for off-grid power. But almost no one is using them for real-world work. They tend to be a little less dense than an internal combustion engine, even though they are more quiet. In my opinion, I think some of these forgotten technologies still have a purpose in our world. To achieve these aims, I decided to go with the alpha configuration. It's two pistons set apart at 90 degrees. It allows for a simple design and a low part count. Also, it easily allows for unique design figures, such as square pistons and a Scotch yoke. It's designed around repairability and modular parts. I really think it can go the distance.
This is the first version of the Thermodrive Alpha. It's not quite there yet, but the next version is in the works. In the next video, I'll walk through the model, some changes I am making, and how it works with my goals. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.